From translation, TLB, the Living Bible. This 51 day of the year. Today we are reading passages Numbers 21 to 22. Numbers chapter 21, verses 1 to 134. When the Canaanite king of Arad, who lived in the southern part of the land, heard that the Israelites were coming, he attacked them and took some prisoners. But Israel made this vow to the Lord: "If you will help us conquer these lands, we will completely destroy their cities." So the Lord listened and helped them wipe out the Canaanites and their cities, and that place was named Hormah. Then the people moved on to the wilderness of Zin, and again the people grew impatient and complained to Moses and Aaron. "We hate this miserable food," they said. "We want some meat." Instead of trusting God, they spoke against him and said, "Why did you bring us out of Egypt to die here in the wilderness? There is no food here and nothing to drink. And we hate this terrible manna." Then the Lord said to Moses and Aaron, "Because all the people of Israel are complaining against me, send some of them to scout out the territory around Punon, where the Midianites live, so that we may give them some meat to eat." Moses replied, "Here I am with about 600,000 men on foot, and yet you say, 'I will give them meat to eat for a whole month.' Even if we butchered all our sheep and cattle, and killed all the fish in the sea, we wouldn't have enough meat for them. For they would complain and say, 'Give us meat to eat.'" Then the Lord said to Moses, "Is the Lord's arm too short to save you? Now you will see whether my promise to you will come true or not." So Moses said to the people, "The Lord has heard your complaints. He will give you meat to eat this evening, and tomorrow morning you will have all the bread you want. For the Lord has heard your complaints, which you have made against him. Who are we that you should complain against us?" Then Moses went out and told the people what the Lord had said. And he said, "The Lord will give you meat to eat this evening and bread in the morning, for he has heard your complaints against him." And so it happened that evening quails flew up and covered the camp, and in the morning there was a layer of dew all around the camp. When the dew disappeared that morning, the surface of the desert was covered with a thin flaky substance, as fine as frost on the ground. When the people saw it, they asked each other, "What is it?" For they didn't know what it was. And Moses told them, "It is the food the Lord has given you to eat. This is the same food the Lord commanded them to eat. It is to be called manna," he said. "It is the food the Lord has given you to eat." The people of Israel called it manna. It was like coriander seed, white, and it tasted like wafers made with honey. Then Moses said, "This is what the Lord has commanded. Fill 2 quarts of it to be kept for future generations, so they can see the bread I gave you to eat in the wilderness when I brought you out of Egypt." So Moses said to Aaron, "Take a jar and fill 2 quarts of manna from it, and place it before the Lord to be kept for future generations." The Lord said to Moses, "Get 2 quarts of manna and store it in a jar to be kept for future generations, so they can see the bread I gave you to eat in the wilderness when I brought you out of Egypt." And so Aaron stored the manna just as the Lord had commanded Moses, and it was kept in the Ark of the Covenant. Now the people of Israel traveled from place to place, as the Lord commanded. They camped at Rephidim, but there was no water for them to drink. So once again the people complained to Moses and said, "Give us water to drink." And Moses replied, "Why are you complaining to me? Why are you testing the Lord?" But the people were thirsty and complained again, saying, "Why did you bring us out of Egypt to die of thirst here in the wilderness with our children and our livestock?" Then Moses cried out to the Lord, "What should I do with these people? They are ready to stone me." The Lord said to Moses, "Walk out in front of the people. Take some of the elders of Israel, and take the staff with which you struck the Nile, and go. I will stand there before you by the rock at Mount Horeb. Strike the rock, and water will come out of it for the people to drink." So Moses did so in the sight of the elders of Israel. He named the place Massah, testing, and Meribah, quarreling, because the people of Israel argued with Moses and tested the Lord by saying, "Is the Lord really with us or not?" Then the Amalekites came and attacked the Israelites at Rephidim. So Moses said to Joshua, "Choose some of our men and go out to fight the Amalekites. Tomorrow I will stand on the hilltop, holding the staff of God in my hand." Joshua did as Moses commanded and fought the Amalekites, while Moses, Aaron, and Hur went up to the top of the hill. As long as Moses held up his hands, the Israelites had the advantage, but when he lowered his hands, the Amalekites gained the advantage. When Moses' arms grew tired, they took a stone and put it under him, and he sat on it. Then Aaron and Hur held up his hands, one on each side, so that his hands remained steady until sunset. So Joshua overwhelmed the Amalekites in battle. Then the Lord said to Moses, "Write this on a scroll as a permanent reminder," and read it aloud to Joshua. "I will completely blot out the memory of Amalek from under heaven." Moses built an altar, and named it "The Lord is my banner," for he said, "For hands were lifted up to the throne of the Lord. The Lord will be at war against the Amalekites from generation to generation." Then the Lord said to Moses, "Send men to explore the land of Canaan, which I am giving to the people of Israel. Choose one leader from each of the 12 tribes. So at the Lord's command, Moses sent them out from the wilderness of Paran. All of them were leaders of the Israelites. Here are their names: from the tribe of Reuben, Shammua son of Zaccur; from the tribe of Simeon, Shaphat son of Hori; from the tribe of Judah, Caleb son of Jephunneh; from the tribe of Issachar, Igal son of Joseph; from the tribe of Ephraim, Hoshea son of Nun; from the tribe of Benjamin, Palti son of Raphu; from the tribe of Zebulun, Gadiel son of Sodi; from the tribe of Manasseh, Gadi son of Suzi; from the tribe of Dan, Amiel son of Gemali; from the tribe of Asher, Sethur son of Michael; from the tribe of Naphtali, Nabai son of Vophsi; from the tribe of Gad, Jewel son of Maki. These are the names of the men Moses sent to explore the land. Moses called Hoshea by the name Joshua. Moses sent them to explore the land of Canaan and said, "Go through the entire region and see what the land is like. Be prepared and bring back some of the fruit of the land." The season was the first ripe grapes. So they went up and explored the land from the wilderness of Zin as far as Rehob, near Lebo Hamath. They traveled through the entire region and returned after 40 days. They came back to Moses and Aaron and the whole community of Israel at Kadesh in the wilderness of Paran. They reported to them and showed everyone the fruit of the land. They gave this account to Moses: "We went into the land to which you sent us, and it does flow with milk and honey. Here is its fruit, but the people living there are powerful, and the cities are fortified and very large. We even saw descendants of Anak there. The Amalekites live in the southern part of the land, the Hittites, Jebusites and Amorites live in the hill country, and the Canaanites live along the coast of the Mediterranean Sea and all along the Jordan River." Then Caleb silenced the people before Moses and said, "We should go up and take possession of the land, for we can certainly do it." But the other men who had explored the land with him answered, "We can't attack those people. They are stronger than we are." So they spread among the Israelites a bad report about the land they had explored. They said, "The land we explored devours those living in it. All the people we saw there are of great size. We saw the Nephilim there, the descendants of Anak come from the Nephilim. We seemed like grasshoppers in our own eyes, and we looked the same to them." Then the whole community began weeping aloud, and they cried all night. The next morning all the people gathered to complain against Moses and Aaron. "We wish we had died in Egypt," they said, "or even here in the wilderness. Why is the Lord bringing us to this land only to let us die by the sword? Our wives and children will be carried off as plunder. Wouldn't it be better to go back to Egypt?" And they said to each other, "Let's choose a new leader and go back to Egypt." Then Moses and Aaron fell face down in front of the whole assembly of Israel. Joshua son of Nun and Caleb son of Jephunneh, who were among those who had explored the land, tore their clothes. They said to all the Israelites, "The land we passed through and explored is exceedingly good. If the Lord is pleased with us, he will lead us into that land, a land flowing with milk and honey, and will give it to us. Only do not rebel against the Lord, and do not be afraid of the people of the land, because they are bread for us. Their protection is gone, but the Lord is with us. Do not be afraid of them." But the whole community talked about stoning them. Then the glory of the Lord appeared at the tent of meeting to all the Israelites. The Lord said to Moses, "How long will these people treat me with contempt? How long will they refuse to believe in me, in spite of all the signs I have performed among them? I will strike them with a plague and destroy them, but I will make you into a nation greater and stronger than they are." Moses said to the Lord, "The Egyptians will hear about it. For you brought these people up from among them with your great power. They will tell it to the inhabitants of this land, and they will hear that you, Lord, are among these people, that you, Lord, are seen face to face, that your cloud stays over them, and that you go before them in a pillar of cloud by day and a pillar of fire by night. If you put all these people to death, the nations that have heard of your fame will say, 'The Lord was not able to bring these people into the land he promised them on oath, so he slaughtered them in the wilderness.' Now may the Lord's strength be displayed, just as you have declared. The Lord is slow to anger, abounding in love and forgiving sin and rebellion. Yet he does not leave the guilty unpunished. He punishes the children for the sin of the parents to the third and fourth generation. In accordance with your great love, forgive the sin of these people, just as you have pardoned them from Egypt until now." The Lord replied, "I have forgiven them, as you asked. Nevertheless, as surely as I live and as surely as the glory of the Lord fills the whole earth, not one of those who saw my glory and the signs I performed in Egypt and in the wilderness, but who disobeyed me and tested me 10 times, not one of them will ever see the land I promised on oath to their ancestors. No one who has treated me with contempt will ever see it. But because my servant Caleb has a different spirit and follows me wholeheartedly, I will bring him into the land he went to, and his descendants will inherit it. As for the men who saw my glory and the signs I performed, but who tested me and disobeyed me not once, but 10 times, not one of them will see the land I promised them. Not one of them will survive except Caleb son of Jephunneh and Joshua son of Nun. Your children, however, will wander in the wilderness for 40 years, suffering for your sins, until the last of your bodies lies dead in the desert. For 40 years, 1 year for each of the 40 days you explored the land, you will suffer for your sins and know what it is like to oppose me. I, the Lord, have spoken, and I will surely do these things to this whole wicked community, which has banded together against me. They will die in this wilderness. The men who had spread the bad report about the land were struck down with a plague before the Lord. Not one of them survived, except Caleb son of Jephunneh and Joshua son of Nun. Early the next morning, Moses brought the people before the Lord to find out what they should do. But the Lord said to Moses, "Tell the people to turn back and camp near the Red Sea." Then the Lord said to Moses, "Tell the people to turn back and camp near the Red Sea." And so the people of Israel set out from Mount Hor and traveled along the route to the Red Sea. While they were at Mount Hor, near the border of Edom, Aaron the priest died there. He was 123 years old when he died. The whole community mourned his death for 30 days. The king of Edom, however, refused to let Israel pass through his land, so Israel turned away from them. Then they traveled along the route to the Red Sea to go around the land of Edom. But they grew impatient on the way and spoke against God and Moses. "Why have you brought us up out of Egypt to die in this wilderness?" They complained. "There is no bread, there is no water. And we detest this miserable food." Then the Lord sent poisonous snakes among the people, and many were bitten and died. The people came to Moses and said, "We have sinned by speaking against the Lord and against you. Pray that the Lord will take away the snakes." So Moses prayed for the people. The Lord said to Moses, "Make a snake and put it up on a pole. Anyone who is bitten can look at it and live." So Moses made a bronze snake and put it up on a pole. Then when anyone was bitten by a snake and looked at the bronze snake, they lived. The Israelites set out and camped at Oboth. Then they traveled from Oboth and camped at Ahabarim on the border of Moab. From there they traveled and camped in the Zerd Valley. From the Zerd Valley they camped at Arnon, a river that marks the border of Moab, flowing through the desert. The Israelites sent messengers to Sihon king of the Amorites, saying, "Let us pass through your land. We will not turn aside into any field or vineyard, or drink water from any well. We will travel along the king's highway until we have passed through your territory." But Sihon would not let Israel pass through his land. He mustered his entire army and marched out into the wilderness against Israel. When he reached Jahaz, he fought with Israel. The Israelites struck him down and took possession of his land from the Arnon to the Jabbok, as far as the Ammonites, because the Ammonites' border was fortified. Israel settled in all the cities of the Amorites and in Heshbon and all its surrounding villages. Heshbon was the city of Sihon king of the Amorites, who had fought against the former king of Moab and taken all his land from him as far as the Arnon. That is why the poets say, "Come to Heshbon and let it be rebuilt. Let Sihon's city be restored." Fire went out from Heshbon, a flame from the city of Sihon. It consumed Ar of Moab, the citizens of Arnon's heights. Woe to you, Moab, you are destroyed, people of Chemosh. He has given up his sons as fugitives, and his daughters as captives to Sihon king of the Amorites. But Israel settled in the land of the Amorites. Then Israel sent messengers to Og king of Bashan, for his territory was in the region of Bashan. They said, "Our food and water are gone. We are asking for permission to pass through your land." But Og, king of Bashan, marched out against them with his entire army to fight at Edrei. The Lord said to Moses, "Do not be afraid of him, for I have handed him over to you with his whole army and his land. Do to him what you did to Sihon king of the Amorites, who ruled at Heshbon." So the Israelites struck him down and his sons and his whole army, leaving no survivors, and they took possession of his land. From there the Israelites traveled and camped in the plains of Moab across the Jordan River from Jericho. The Lord said to Moses, "Take all the leaders of the people and hang them before the Lord in opposition to him, because they have led the people into rebellion against me by worshipping Baal of Peor." So the Lord sent a plague against Israel. Then an Israelite man brought a Midianite woman into the camp in the sight of Moses and the whole assembly of Israel, while they were weeping at the entrance to the tent of meeting. When Phinehas son of Eleazar, the son of Aaron the priest, saw this, he left the assembly and took a spear in his hand. He followed the Israelite man into the tent and drove the spear through both of them, through the Israelite man and into the woman's body. Then the plague against the Israelites was stopped, but those who died in the plague numbered 24,000. The Lord said to Moses, "Phinehas son of Eleazar, the son of Aaron the priest, has turned my anger away from the Israelites. For he was as zealous as I am for the honor of my name, so that in my zeal I did not put an end to the Israelites. Therefore say, I am making my covenant of peace with him. He and his descendants will have a covenant of priesthood lasting forever, because he was zealous for the honor of his God, and made atonement for the Israelites." The name of the Israelite man who was killed with the Midianite woman was Zimri son of Salu, the leader of a Simonite family. The name of the Midianite woman who was killed was Cozbi daughter of Zur, a tribal chief of Midian. The Lord said to Moses, "Treat the Midianites as enemies and attack them." For they treated you as enemies, deceiving you in the matter of Pur, and their sister Cosbi, the daughter of a Midianite chief, was killed when she was slain at the time of the plague because of Pur. Numbers chapter 22, verses 1 to 80. Then the Israelites set out, and camped in the plains of Moab, across the Jordan River from Jericho. And Balak son of Zippor saw all that Israel had done to the Amorites. Moab was terrified because there were so many people. Indeed, Moab was filled with dread because of the Israelites. The Moabites said to the elders of Midian, "This horde is going to lick us up, everything that is in it, as the ox licks up the grass of the field." And Balak son of Zippor was king of Moab at that time. He sent messengers to Balaam son of Beor, at Pethor of the river, in the land of the people of the east, to summon him, saying, "A people has come out of Egypt. See, they cover the face of the earth and are settling next to me. Now come, put a curse on these people, because they are too powerful for me. Perhaps then I will be able to defeat them and drive them out of the land. For I know that the one you bless is blessed, and the one you curse is cursed." The elders of Moab and the elders of Midian took with them the fees for divination, and they came to Balaam with the message of Balak. He said to them, "Stay here tonight, and I will bring back to you whatever the Lord says to me." So the leaders of Moab stayed with Balaam, and God came to Balaam and said, "Who are these men with you?" Balaam said to God, "Balak son of Zippor, king of Moab, has sent a message to me." But God said to Balaam, "You must not go with them. You must not put a curse on those people because they are blessed." So Balaam got up in the morning and said to the leaders of Balak, "Go back to your land, for the Lord has refused to let me go with you." The leaders of Moab returned to Balak and said, "Balaam refused to come with us." Then Balak sent more messengers, more numerous and more distinguished than the first. They came to Balaam and said to him, "Thus says Balak son of Zippor, let nothing hinder you from coming to me." But Balaam answered them, "Even if Balak gave me his house full of silver and gold, I could not go beyond the word of the Lord my God to do less or more. Now therefore please stay here tonight, so that I may know what more the Lord may say to me." And God came to Balaam at night and said to him, "If the men have come to summon you, get up and go with them, but only do what I tell you." So Balaam got up in the morning, saddled his donkey, and went with the leaders of Moab. But God was angry that he had gone, and the angel of the Lord took his stand in the way as an adversary against him. Now he was riding on his donkey, and his 2 servants were with him. When the donkey saw the angel of the Lord standing in the way, with a drawn sword in his hand, she turned aside from the way and went into the field. So Balaam struck the donkey to turn her back onto the road. Then the angel of the Lord stood in a narrow path between the vineyards, with a wall on this side and a wall on that side. When the donkey saw the angel of the Lord, she pressed herself against the wall, and pressed Balaam's foot against the wall. So he struck her again. Then the angel of the Lord went ahead, and stood in a narrow place where there was no way to turn either to the right or to the left. When the donkey saw the angel of the Lord, she lay down under Balaam. And Balaam's anger was kindled, and he struck the donkey with his staff. Then the Lord opened the mouth of the donkey, and she said to Balaam, "What have I done to you that you have struck me these 3 times? And Balaam said to the donkey, "Because you have made a fool of me. If there had been a sword in my hand, I would have killed you by now." Then the donkey said to Balaam, "Am I not your donkey on which you have ridden all your life to this day? Have I been in the habit of doing this to you?" And he said, "No." Then the Lord opened Balaam's eyes, and he saw the angel of the Lord standing in the way, with his drawn sword in his hand. And he bowed down and fell on his face. And the angel of the Lord said to him, "Why have you struck your donkey these 3 times? Behold, I have come out to oppose you because your way is perverse before me. The donkey saw me and turned away from me these 3 times. Unless she had turned away from me, surely now I would have killed you and let her live." And Balaam said to the angel of the Lord, "I have sinned, for I did not know that you were standing in the way against me. Now therefore, if it is evil in your eyes, I will return." And the angel of the Lord said to Balaam, "Go with the men, but only speak the word that I tell you." So Balaam went with the leaders of Balak. When Balak heard that Balaam was coming, he went out to meet him at the city of Moab, which is on the Arnon, at the border of his territory. And Balak said to Balaam, "Did I not send urgently to you to summon you? Why did you not come to me? Am I not able to honor you?" And Balaam said to Balak, "Behold, I have come to you. Have I not power to speak? I must speak the word that God puts in my mouth." And Balak took Balaam and brought him to the heights of Baal, and from there he saw the outskirts of the people. And Balak offered oxen and sheep, and he sent messengers to Balaam, saying, "Come, curse this people for me." But Balaam said to Balak, "Build me 7 altars here, and prepare for me a bull and a ram on each altar." And Balak did as Balaam had said, and he offered a bull and a ram on each altar. Then Balaam said to Balak, "Stay here by your burnt offering while I go over there. Perhaps the Lord will come to meet me, and whatever he shows me I will tell you." And he went to a bare hilltop. And God met Balaam, and he said to him, "I have set up 7 altars here, and I have offered on each altar a bull and a ram." And the Lord put a word in Balaam's mouth and said, "Return to Balak, and thus shall you speak." and he returned to Balak, who was standing by his burnt offering with the leaders of Moab. And Balaam uttered his oracle, saying, Balak king of Moab has brought me from Aram, from the mountains of the east. Come, curse Jacob for me, and come, denounce Israel. How can I curse whom God has not cursed? Or how can I denounce whom the Lord has not denounced? For from the top of the crags I see him, and from the hills I behold him. Behold, a people dwelling alone and not counting itself among the nations. Who can count the dust of Jacob, or number the fourth part of Israel? Let me die the death of the upright, and let my end be like his. And Balak said to Balaam, What have you done to me? I brought you to curse my enemies, but behold, you have done nothing but bless them. And Balaam said to Balak, Must I not take care to speak what the Lord puts in my mouth? And Balak said to Balaam, Come, I will take you to another place. Perhaps it will be pleasing to God that you curse them for me from there. And Balak took Balaam to the top of Pisgah, and he built 7 altars there, and offered a bull and a ram on each altar. Then Balaam said to Balak, Stay here by your burnt offering while I go over there. Perhaps the Lord will come to meet me, and whatever he shows me I will tell you. And he went to a bare hilltop. And the Lord met Balaam, and he said to him, I have set up 7 altars here, and I have offered on each altar a bull and a ram. And the Lord put a word in Balaam's mouth and said, Return to Balak, and thus shall you speak. And he returned to Balak, who was standing by his burnt offering with the leaders of Moab. And Balaam uttered his oracle, saying, Balak king of Moab has brought me from Aram, from the mountains of the east. Come, curse Jacob for me, and come, denounce Israel. How can I curse whom God has not cursed? Or how can I denounce whom the Lord has not denounced? For I see him from the top of the rocks, and I behold him from the hills. Behold, a people dwelling alone, and not counting itself among the nations. Who can count the dust of Jacob, or number the fourth part of Israel? Let me die the death of the upright, and let my end be like his. And Balak said to Balaam, Do not curse them at all, and do not bless them at all. And Balaam said to Balak, Did I not tell you, whatever the Lord speaks, that will I do? And Balak said to Balaam, Come, I will take you to another place. Perhaps it will be pleasing to God that you curse them for me from there. And Balak took Balaam to the top of Peor, that overlooks the wasteland. And Balaam said to Balak, Build for me 7 altars here, and prepare for me a bull and a ram on each altar. And Balak did as Balaam had said, and he offered a bull and a ram on each altar. Then Balaam said to Balak, Stay here by your burnt offering while I go over there. Perhaps the Lord will come to meet me, and whatever he shows me I will tell you. And he went to a bare hilltop. And the Lord met Balaam, and he said to him, I have set up 7 altars here, and I have offered on each altar a bull and a ram. And the Lord put a word in Balaam's mouth and said, Return to Balak, and thus shall you speak. And he returned to Balak, who was standing by his burnt offering with the leaders of Moab. And Balaam uttered his oracle, saying, Rise up, Balak, and hear. Give ear to me, O son of Zippor. God is not man that he should lie, or a son of man that he should change his mind. Has he said, and will he not do it? Or has he spoken, and will he not fulfill it? Behold, I received a command to bless. He has blessed, and I cannot reverse it. He has not beheld iniquity in Jacob, nor has he seen perverseness in Israel. The Lord his God is with him, and the shout of a king is among them. God who brings them out of Egypt is for them like the horns of the wild ox. For there is no enchantment against Jacob, no divination against Israel. Now it shall be said of Jacob and of Israel, What has God done? They are to uproot the nations and lay their cities in ruins. They are to do the same to Moab and to the children of Ammon, but they are to conquer their enemies and destroy them. And Balaam rose up and went back to his place, and Balak also went his way.